And you are now listening to and watching Serving Up the D. It is October 16th, 2023.
Hate week,
It
baby.
is hate week, and it is not going. It's going to be hating ourselves
M-
week.
MSU fans, let's just sit this one out.
Um,
There-
if
There's
your
no
wife asks you to go apple picking, go. It'll
go.
be more fun.
If your brother asks you to go to the game, don't
Don't
go.
go. Don't go and sit in the rain.
I got suckered into that, but anyway,
It's going to be a
yeah,
long night for you.
yeah. MSU
They're bad.
fans, focus on the coaching search, the basketball team, anything but this game because it's going to be brutal. Take the over.
There's
Take blue to
there's
cover.
not really a lot to talk
Take
about.
Cora.
Hauser looked
They
okay.
play.
And they still
Yeah,
found a way to fucking lose to Rutgers. They're bad. It's a bad product. It's a bad team, and I get it. We just got to get through this season. But yeah, let's get back to the coaching thing. I'm still on the Urban Meyer bandwagon, and I don't understand why it's not full steam ahead pushing that narrative. He's the guy. He's the only guy probably that can turn this around.
he's the only difference maker out there. I mean, look at the bloom's falling off the Jake Dickert rose pretty fast,
that was
and
quick.
Wazoo's gotten blown out like the last 2 weeks. Yeah, it's really urban or bust, Like Spiro says, raise the flag.
It's urban or bust, or if you do hire a coach, it's you got to try and get that combo deal where you get the QB with 2 years plus left to come with the coach. So we're set at the two spots that are important: your head coach and your quarterback. And I get it; everybody loves Hauser because he's the unknown, he's the recruit that everybody was high on. But to say like Chip Kelly and more could come here, I'm taking that combo over any scrub and
Yeah,
Hauser.
I am. I am, even though Dante Moore throws more pick sixes than Matthew Stafford.
Yeah, but he's also thrown into the fire right away. There was no learning curve there. He was a freshman, you're playing, and that's it. From Jump Street, like he played what game 2 he was in, and it was it. He's been his position ever since. Like Chip Kelly wasn't like, oh, we're gonna work him in, and no, it was like the middle of the first game he played some, and then that was it. After that, he just was. It's his spot, and he's a true freshman. Like this idea that we have to pamper these guys. Like no, Hauser should have been playing from day one this season. I'm sorry, but how do you not look at this situation and go, Kim sucks? He sucks. He wasn't good. How do you not just say, okay, we got to go with the younger guy? If it's close, you go with the younger guy. And then people are like, well, you
Let's
can't
get to
fall
brass
back.
tacks on the Noah Kim thing. Brass tacks is the coaching staff, which is god awful, was god awful with
Yeah,
Mel
well, there's
Tucker.
no
It's
doubt.
worse. It's just as bad without him. They thought that he gave them the quarterback that would go out there and make the least amount of mistakes. They didn't want.
Yeah, but
I mean, they had to win. They had to win games this year, otherwise it was going to be hot seat talk. And where Tucker fucked up, other
other
than
than beating off on camera,
jerking it to the rape
man on
advocate,
earth.
he hired these assistant coaches that we skewer every week, and I'm going to continue to skewer every week
So
because
bad.
they're fucking
Special
terrible.
teams. What are we doing?
Ross Ells, go away, get out of my life.
Ugh.
Um,
It's,
but anyway,
it's truly painful to watch.
Tucker came in when D'Antonio screwed us and retired on signing day. Obviously, bad timing, bad move by Mark.
Celebration.
It was not a celebration. I was at the game. I was at the basketball game that day. He talked for like 40 seconds and got the fuck out of there. Anyway, but he hired these coaches after the coaching carousel had already run its course for that year. So he got the also rans, the people nobody really wanted, and he overpaid for him, and he never moved on from these guys. He stayed loyal to these bums.
Yeah, no, because he knew he was a bum. Tucker wasn't a good coach. The amount of errors and game clock management mistakes, he swindled us. He was fucking a con man. He swindled everybody. Kenneth Walker got him paid. He owes Kenneth Walker that money. I regret fighting with Michigan fans over that when they're like, well, it was just Kenneth Walker who did it all for you. It's true. It was Kenneth Walker who did it all.
At the time, it was wrong, but now it's played out to be correct.
Yeah, and it sucks because you're like, shit. They were right. You never want those fuckheads to be right. They're going to fucking murder us. It's going to be so bad. This is like pent-up frustration for so many times that they got their face kicked in by D'Antonio. And then Tucker comes in and he wins 2 out of 3. Like, it is, they are going to, Harbaugh is going to fucking murder us.
Oh,
it's going to be bad.
It's Cobra Kai. It's going to be no mercy.
Oh yeah, it's going. If they don't win by 50, it's embarrassing for them.
Exactly. And I'm still not convinced that they're any great shakes themselves.
No,
but
they are.
The Big Ten
by
is so bad.
Far and away
Best
better
team in the
than.
Big Ten. Oh yeah. I'm just saying we won't really know how good they are.
No.
Basically till the playoffs. I don't think Penn State's going to give them any trouble.
Well,
I don't think.
I do, just because it's in Happy Valley.
It's a Newton kick,
I don't
man.
care what time of day it is.
under the
Going
lights.
there is like getting in there is not easy. Like, it's just a lot of stuff you got to do with. It's not. It won't be a walk in the park, I don't think.
But yeah, you are right on Saturday though. It's like I said, take the over, take Blue to cover, take Corum to score 2+ touchdowns,
Sell your
Roman
tickets.
Wilson to score a touchdown. Yeah, well,
Find a Michigan fan who desperately wants to go.
ain't no Michigan fan paying what I paid, so
Yeah,
I'm stuck
that
going and sitting in the rain. So shouldn't have bought him before the season. Like I said, I think Michigan goes for 50+, and if we score 10 points, I'll be pleasantly surprised.
They're going to be throwing it late in the game to punch it in to score more. It's going to be bad, and I don't blame them. We'd be saying the same thing if we had the chance.
Nope,
When it was negative 48 game, we wanted them to sack them another time. Like, I get it.
I'll be fully on board. I'll be fully on board in the winter when Tom Izzo's doing the same thing to Juwan Howard.
And Juwan Howard's getting run out of town because that's what's going to happen.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
we'll get to those days later on. But yeah, no, it's honestly the coaching.
No, we won't. We don't do basketball.
We only do football. No, but let's get back to the coaching thing for 2 seconds. I want to say this about the coaching thing. If Michigan State doesn't get off their ass, I don't know what's going on behind the scenes, but they better hurry because there's a lot of positions that could open up at schools that are a lot grander than Michigan State. That will bump us down the line of coaches. Like, if A&M finally get off their ass and say, see you, Jimbo, guess what? That's the best position to go to. And that means Michigan State is now following out money, but that's whoever the next coach is there. And then
I know it's oil money, but that's a huge buyout there in Texas.
I get that.
It's like $76 million.
If they do go that route, I'm saying if they do go that route and A&M get rid of Jimbo, or Notre Dame get rid of Freeman. Freeman saved his job for a little bit this weekend, but if they go and stumble later on, like, he's on a thin line too with them. Like, he fails, that's 2 jobs there that are ahead of Michigan State in the pecking order. We can't dick around and take forever to find or back channel with whatever coach you want to hire, because if we get fucked by these other guys getting fired, we're screwed. We're going to end up with Dan fucking Enos, and I'm never going to watch a game again. Like, I'm sorry, but it's
don't do that.
It's awful, and they need to do something. Like, that's why I'm saying Urban Meyer is there to have now. Like, they could sign him tomorrow. They don't have to wait and get permission and talk to these guys. Like, go now, sign him. Give him whatever he wants.
Are you convinced the buffoons that we have in charge at Michigan State are
that's what I'm getting at.
Aware of that, the fact that they could sign?
But that's what I'm getting at
today.
If they dick around too long and wait for the perfect Michigan State guy, we're fucked. We're going to end up with Narduzzi after he gets fired from Pitt.
Stop it.
Or Dan Enos, because, they all have to have connections to Michigan State somehow.
They had to have taken a piss in Rick's sink.
But it's painful. These idiots don't see this. Like, how do you not know? Like, if we don't move quickly, other positions are going to open up. And Michigan State at the current moment isn't this great landing spot. I get it. It's top 20 and all this stuff. It's got great facilities. Fans show up on Saturdays to watch the games. It's not like being at UCLA with Chip Kelly. But you need to get in these guys' ears now. And I don't care about penalties or whatever tampering type shit you could probably fall into. I don't even know if they have that.
I don't think they have. I don't think they do.
But if they did, then fucking hire somebody.
You better be talking to people's agents like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah. Like, and just waiting to make the announcement. Like, the guys, say a Chip Kelly was like, but you can't announce it until we either have 5 losses or we're heading into the bowl week. Like, I don't want to. I don't want to say it. Like, I don't trust the BOT to get anything
No.
done right. And I'm just waiting.
Or even Alan
hear that.
Eller.
Nope, they hired some dipshit that nobody's going to give a fuck about. Oh, but we got to give him a chance to build it. No, not now. You build now in 2 years. That's your building window in college football now. You got 2 seasons. You got the season you're hired, the following season, and in year 3, you should be aiming for national titles now. And that's just the way it is.
Yeah.
You can recruit.
You have to live in that portal.
You get 2 good recruiting classes, and then you go in the portal, and you get as many guys to fill out that roster for season 3, and that's it. And that's your cutoff point. And if you can't win 10-plus games in year 3, you're fucking done. You should be fired. And a guy like Urban Meyer would get that job done. He would immediately turn this recruiting class into something.
Oh, he'd win 10
He
games.
would go into the
years.
portal and grab a quarterback or whatever else he thinks we need.
Third. He might be in the playoffs.
And
in
we'd
2
be
years.
a top 10 recruiting class
with
next
a 12,
year.
With a 12-team playoff, he'll be in the playoffs in 2 years.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. And that's the kind of guy they have to hire. I don't know where else to go with it, but he's there to be had. And that's why smart people bring it up. Because he's there. He's a guy who can he's a proven winner. He can build a roster. We've all seen that. He's done it everywhere he's gone, and he's done it quick.
He'll send a quarterback to New York at least every other year.
Yeah, college quarterbacks coming out the ass, and I don't care what these guys do on the next level. No offense to the Michigan State players, but if you don't end up being great pros, whatever, you win at Michigan State's all that matters. And Urban Meyer's proven to be able to do that.
I mean, for MSU fans, the only thing left to really do this year is try to identify anybody you might want to try and hold on to. Who that might be, I don't know. Hauser, maybe. Nate Carter. Jordan Hall, probably. I would hold on to him. The freshman linebacker that's getting a lot of playing time. But other than that, I mean, it's over.
Yeah, it's done. This year's a wash.
We waited so long for the season to start, and look where we are 6 games in. Pathetic.
We're staring down the barrel.
Thanks, Mel.
Staring
down the barrel of a 50-point loss.
Yeah, 50-point loss, but then following that up with a loss at Minnesota, then Nebraska. Hey, we're done. It's toast. The only winnable game is
fucking terrible thing. The fucking terrible thing is that these kids are out there doing all right.
It's not about the kids, though. And I know we say, well, they suck and this and that. It's not their
They don't
fault.
suck. Their coaching staff
Well,
is
their
awful.
coaching staff sucks. There's not an abundance of talent. There's a bunch of good players, but there's
Harlan out there saying
there's nobody that jumps off the page that you go, that guy's gonna fucking murder the quarterback next play. This guy can rush for 200 yards. We don't have any of those guys. We don't have any studs. There's a bunch of guys, but no studs. At least with D'Antonio, you looked at that defense. You said, that guy's going to kill the quarterback. That guy's going to stop the run. This guy's going to do that. Those guys are going to shut down their best wide receiver. Yeah, and you knew you had a corner you had at least one corner who was going to lock somebody down. You had safeties that could lay the fucking wood.
The glory days.
You had that. And then you had a quarterback who I still think should have had a chance in the NFL. Something happened there with Connor Cook.
Okay.
Yeah, that guy was a really good fucking quarterback, and he just never really got a chance, I don't think. But whatever.
Well, I think he was an asshole.
Yeah, he did seem kind of like a dick, but I'm sure he's really good at selling real estate.
He'll have that.
Yeah, so...
Let me ask you something, though, Wes. Let me ask you something related to college football. Do you believe now, in Coach Prime, do you believe?
That was fun to watch.
Whoa.
I'm not going to lie. It was fun to watch.
I wish I would have stayed up for
The
it.
thing that I dislike the most is after the game, he questioned his players' love of the game. He put it on the players. I'm like, dude, you're playing Travis Hunter how many snaps? And he just came back from a lacerated liver. That's coaching malfeasance. You cannot put a player in that position. That guy should have been on a snap count from the start, and he should not have played that many. Okay, late in the game, he was toast on defense. That Canadian kid for Stanford was roasting him. Roast. And it was like Madden slants every play. Boom, 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 boom. And Travis Hunter couldn't play late in that game. He was cooked. And that's on Dion, not on the player. It's not on Dion to accept the player saying, hey, I can't go anymore tonight. I'm cooked. No, Dion shouldn't have played him so much. But I guess you have to, because if you don't play him, they don't score.
Well, that kid's going to have to pick a position and stick with it.
Or at least do like
it's
maybe
probably
one or
receiver,
two
too.
or a handful of plays on offense, not fucking 30 snaps on offense. He can't be going out there for 100 plus snaps.
No, he's been god awful at corner, man.
Well, you're cooked when you're running around like a maniac scoring touchdowns on offense. Like, he's been really good.
Opposing teams have like a 91% passer rating when they're throwing at him. I mean, he's not great. He made that one great interception.
But he's not really given a chance to be great because he's burning himself out on offense. You can't go out and score a 60-yard touchdown and then 2 seconds later turn around and be on the field to cover a receiver receivers already have the advantage in today's game. Like, so now you're expecting this kid who's tired.
College, they let you hand fight a lot more.
Still, you're tired. You just scored a 65-yard touchdown on offense, spin moving, juking people out of their shoes, and then you're expected to go out there and cover every team's best receiver. You're going to get lit up. And that's on Dion. That's not on the player. That's on Dion. That's bad coaching. That's poor player management.
How dare you, racist.
I know. And Dion was one of my favorite players when he played. I just think he's not very good as a coach. I think he's a great recruiter. He's an awesome motivator. He needs to...
They're gonna have a tough road to get into a bowl game at this point.
Well, yeah, their schedule does not line up for them to do well the rest of the way.
No, not well at all.
And especially if they keep burning their players in dust, their best player.
And you
then
got Oregon
Sanders can't make that throw late in the game. That pick in overtime was god awful. Like, you cannot.
Sorry, my phone keeps going off, and I keep looking to see if we hired Urban or not.
You got to walk away with points late in the game there. And I know this isn't Colorado radio, but you got to walk away with points. You can't throw that interception across the field in overtime and get no points and then lose on a field goal. Stanford literally got one first down in overtime on the drive. It was first down, and they kicked the field goal right then and there. They were like, "Fuck this."
Yeah, didn't see it. I saw Oregon and Washington play a classic on Saturday, though.
Oh, yeah, that was awesome.
Game. They're still the two best teams I think I've seen play this year.
Like I said, I think I said to you, where they're still top four. If I had gave out four, it's Georgia, Michigan, Oregon, and Washington. I think are the best four teams right now. I mean, you could make a case for Florida State, but again, it'll all shake out.
They got to play Duke, though.
Oh, I know. Look out. The quarterback who can complete 4 passes.
Look out for Riley Leonard.
Riley ain't going to play.
Return of Riley Leonard.
He's probably not even going to play. It's all just talk.
I know. And like you said earlier, USC got demolished by Notre Dame. Yeah,
they can't stop anybody. Their defense
They'll get crushed
so bad.
by Oregon and Washington.
And Caleb Williams decided to have the worst game of his career, and his defense wasn't there to do anything to help him.
Yeah. Well, you'll have that.
Yeah, that's it. I know if you are
that's college
a Michigan State fan, I would just
set this one out.
There's got to be 100 other things you can do than watch that game.
Guys, I suggest you get off Twitter. Stop talking shit on Twitter because there's nothing to gain by it.
But that goes back to our fan base being a bunch of fucking weak-minded little pussies. We have the most cucks in our fan base. I swear to God. Michigan State has a giant portion of cucks in this fan base. Oh, we gotta hire people with morals, and I'm still gonna talk shit to Michigan. We have a chance. It's hate week. It's a rivalry game. I hate all these cliches. No, it's not. Michigan is going to kick our fucking teeth in and then throw us out a window. And we need to accept it, because if it was the other way around, we'd be dancing on their grave, just like they're going to dance on ours, and they deserve to.
Yeah.
Under D'Antonio, we danced all over them. We pissed on them. We were the Calvin pissing meme on them for 8 years in a row? Well, guess what? It's coming back to roost now, and we all have to accept it. Don't give me, it's a rivalry, you never know. Next thing you know, we're going to be saying, it rained.
Throw the records out the window. Throw the records out. Right. Their records are pretty much spot on.
Can we throw ours out the window? I would like to throw ours out the window.
You are what your record says you are.
No, what they are is a really good football team. What we are is a fucking dumpster fire. Oh, God. Anyways, find something better to do with your time. And we'll get you next week.
That's it. We'll talk to you next week.